Today, we are diving into a simple, but honestly, a pretty life-changing idea from Zen philosophy. It's all about how you experience, well, everything. And it all kicks off with one little question. So just for a second, let me ask you, where is your mind right now? Are you 100% here with me? Or maybe is part of your brain still chewing on a conversation from this morning? Or are you already planning what's for dinner tonight? Just take a peek. No judgment, just notice.
Hey, if you notice your mind was off somewhere else, you're not alone. In fact, it's so common, Zen has this beautiful name for it, the lost mind. It's this idea that our attention is almost always wandering, getting lost in this huge, sprawling maze of our own thoughts.
And here's the kicker. According to Zen, this lost mind is the real culprit behind most of our stress. We're either stuck in the past, replaying some cringy moment over and over, or we're lost in the future, worrying about things that haven't even happened. But both of those places, they're just illusions. They pull us away from the only place where life is actually happening.
I mean, really let that sink in for a second. The past is just a story we tell ourselves. The future is it's just imagination. The only thing you will ever truly have is this moment, right now. And it's this incredible gift that we just toss away most of the time, without even thinking about it.
So, what's the fix? Well, the antidote is something called present moment awareness. And look, it sounds fancy, but it's so simple. It's just the act of noticing your mind has wandered off, and then, gently, kindly, bringing it back to right here, right now. That's it. It's not a magic trick, it's just a gentle return. And let's get one thing straight, because this is a big one. This is not about trying to empty your mind or stop your thoughts. I mean, good luck with that, right? Impossible. No, it's just about changing your relationship with your thoughts. Instead of being carried away by them, you just learn to notice them float on by. Now, to really get this going, you need 3 key ingredients in your mindset. First, non-judgment. Just see things without slapping a good or bad sticker on them. Second, acceptance. Don't fight with reality, just let it be what it is. And third, this one's my favorite, beginner's mind. Try to see things, even boring everyday things, as if for the very first time. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, I get it. But how do we actually do it? In the real world, when our mind just inevitably wanders off again? Well, turns out there's a super simple practical toolkit that anyone can use. All right, here are the 4 tools in your new kit. First, you've got to find an anchor. Second, practice doing just one thing at a time. Third, wake up your senses. And finally, a really clever little trick for when your thoughts take over. So let's start with that first one, your anchor. The first and honestly most powerful tool you have is your anchor. And the best one, the one you always have with you, is your own breath. Think about it, it's always there. The second you feel lost in thought, you can just bring your attention back to that simple feeling of air coming in and going out. It's like a homing beacon for the present moment. You know what? Let's make this totally real. Forget all the big ideas for a minute. We're gonna use our senses to turn a completely normal, everyday activity into something amazing. Let's try something we can call the mindful bite. So imagine you're holding just one single piece of food, a grape, a square of chocolate, whatever. But before you pop it in your mouth, really look at it. What colors do you see? What about the texture? Now smell it. Really take it in. What's there? Feel its weight in your hand. And then finally put it in your mouth and chew so slowly. Try to notice every single little explosion of flavor. See? You just turned eating into a full-blown experience. So what happens when, right in the middle of chewing, your mind shoots off to your to-do list? This is where you use the tagging tool. You just gently, without any drama, say to yourself, thinking, and then guide your focus right back to the taste. And here is the absolute key. The second you notice you were distracted, that is a moment of success. That's the whole game right there. That's the win. So why bother with all this? What's the payoff? Well, the rewards are real and they're huge. When we train our minds to be found instead of lost, we genuinely feel less stress. Our focus gets sharper.
We don't get knocked over by our emotions so easily. And honestly, life just starts to feel richer, more colorful, more alive.
There's this classic Zen saying that just nails it. When eating, eat. When sleeping, sleep. It sounds so ridiculously simple, doesn't it? But really think about it. How often do you just eat? This whole thing isn't about reaching some magical, far-off state of enlightenment. It's about being 100% engaged with the ordinary, messy, beautiful reality of your own life.
And that brings us to maybe the most important takeaway of all. This isn't some practice you have to schedule, you know? It's not just for a special cushion in a quiet room. As the saying goes, in walking, in standing, in sitting, in lying down, it's all an opportunity. Washing the dishes, walking to your car, even just listening to me right now, every single moment is a chance to come back home.
So as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this one thought. Your very next breath, the one that's coming right now, that's a quiet little invitation. It's an invitation to show up for your own life, to come home to right here, right now. The only question is, will you accept?